The one far away. In a small town in northern Europe, there is an old 3-story building. This is the home of Lin Yue, a 45-year-old gentle Eastern woman. Lin Yue has lived alone abroad for many years, running a small Chinese restaurant. Her life was simple and routine until Andrew, a 40-year-old man, moved in as her tenant. Andrew is a handsome man, tall and strong, with short brown hair and a pair of charming, deep brown eyes. He is from the United States and has been in a war, which made him very sensitive. His ex-wife left him because she couldn't bear these changes in him. As a result, he is very cautious in his dealings with people. He is an electrician with a hard job and a solitary personality. When Lin Yue first met Andrew, she was attracted to his appearance, especially his brown eyes, which seemed to hold countless stories. Not long after Andrew moved in, Lin Yue prepared a sumptuous dinner. The two chatted happily at the dinner table. Andrew's humor and enthusiasm made Lin Yue feel relaxed for the first time in a long while. He occasionally mentioned his hometown and the pain the war had brought him, with a hint of melancholy in his eyes. Lin Yue, who grew up with parents busy with work, has an introverted personality and a strong desire for love. Andrew's arrival seemed to bring a ray of light into her life. Lin Yue's thoughts and feelings were all about Andrew. She looked forward to seeing him every day, even if it was just a distant glance. Lin Yue soon discovered that Andrew was a very sensitive and aloof person. He was always distant. Sometimes he was as passionate as fire, and sometimes as cold as ice. Lin Yue cautiously approached him, trying to use love and care to soothe his loneliness and heal the wounds of his soul. But the age difference made Lin Yue feel insecure. Still, she tried to put aside her pride and self-respect and went to him without hesitation. She waited for Andrew to come home from work every day, hoping that his hurried steps would pause for a moment for her. But usually, Andrew would just say hello and rush back to his room. That single hello was enough to make Lin Yue happy for the whole day. Lin Yue worked hard to learn cooking, trying to prepare delicious meals for him, but Andrew didn't like them and sometimes even refused directly. Lin Yue cherished every moment she spent with Andrew. She wanted to engrave him in her soul and flesh, to make him a part of her being. She wanted to give the best of herself to Andrew, but his rejections and coldness made her less and less confident. Lin Yue used to be a simple and happy person, sometimes quiet and sometimes passionate, but her passion was repeatedly extinguished by Andrew, leaving her feeling at a loss. She always made up various excuses to appear in front of him, trying to make him feel her presence. Sometimes Andrew would respond to Lin Yue with warmth, but most of the time he remained silent. Yet Lin Yue kept making up reasons to comfort herself, convincing herself that Andrew was good, sunny, and warm-hearted. She believed that her passion would eventually melt his cold heart. But in Lin Yue's memory, Andrew had never once called or texted her. It seemed that it was always Lin Yue who was disturbing Andrew. There was only one time when Andrew, drunk, called Lin Yue to his room. At that moment, Lin Yue rushed to him, forgetting everything. But when things started to happen, she didn't want to hastily accept this long-awaited beauty. She wasn't prepared. She wanted to present herself to him in the best possible way. But at that moment, she was afraid that her imperfections would make Andrew despise and look down upon her. That night, she fled in a panic. And from then on, Andrew kept his distance from Lin Yue, always rejecting and refusing her. His coldness made Lin Yue feel as if their past happiness had just been an illusion in her mind, something that had never really happened. Despite Andrew's distant and aloof attitude towards Lin Yue, the two still shared some beautiful moments. Lin Yue enjoyed listening to Andrew talk about his childhood and family. Whenever Andrew was willing to share, Lin Yue would listen attentively, as if those stories could bring her closer to Andrew's inner world. Once, Andrew recounted his life in the American countryside as a child. His father was a veterinarian, often away from home, while his mother took care of him, his younger sister, and brother. Andrew spoke of the days he ran in the fields with his siblings, his eyes twinkling with warmth, and the animals at home that were probably his happiest times. Watching him, Lin Yue felt a surge of tenderness. She wished she could be that field in his heart, bringing him warmth and comfort. Sometimes Andrew would cook for everyone, and all the tenants would gather together. Although Andrew didn't like her cooking, he would occasionally give her guidance in the kitchen. Lin Yue would eat whatever Andrew made, no matter what, because to her, anything he cooked was the most delicious food in the world. And as he busied himself in the kitchen, Lin Yue's eyes would follow him, savoring the warmth and sweetness of the moment, even fantasizing that it could last forever. Lin Yue cherished these moments. She loved watching Andrew cook with focus, enjoyed sharing the joy of the meal with him, and was captivated by his every move. Despite Andrew's inconsistent behavior, these beautiful moments made Lin Yue feel that everything was worth it.